Coming up, the Raiders and Colts face off for the 4th straight season. The common theme in the previous 3 meetings? Offense, with these two combining for 196 points. We'll see if either defense can step up next.
Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in mired in a brutal stretch right now, losers of 8 straight games.
Can you imagine going 2 straight months without winning a game and still trying to hold it together? They've got to find some inspiration somewhere that can lead them to a victory.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from Indianapolis. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led by their 6-year quarterback out of North Dakota State, a former Pro Bowler, Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes, tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 72 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, you know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Max Crosby, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Devontae Smith deep to return. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. A little juke and bulldozing his way through. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. Leading him out in his 2nd season from Oklahoma by way of Alabama, it's Jalen Hurts.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week. So keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Off the option, here's Jacobs. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of them may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
A give. It's Jacobs off the option. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. On the option, here's Drake.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. Sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd and very short, Hurts flush to his right. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
Second and 12. Throwing is Hurts. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Drake. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The kick by Carlson is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it will come out to the 25. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Hurts fumbles it, and the Colts pick it up. There he goes, right side. He's at the 30, 10, and they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point attempt to come here. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Carl Nassib there on the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Yardage here, going down back at the 28. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Grover Stewart. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Carson Wentz and the Colt offense ready to go back to work.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wentz.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's David Arnett picking it off.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there.
Hurts will throw.
And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget Kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There was a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that two-point attempt.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Wentz. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And all the way down to the 27.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, like most guys from Wisconsin, he's not one to shy away from contact. He proved it right there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats, CD, it shows us he covered better than 20 yards after the initial contact was made.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, Wentz. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Taylor.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Here's Taylor again.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor.
His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT.
And the lead is now 2.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
On the return comes Drake.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Personal foul. Personal roughing the passer. Defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that'll be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The kick by Carlson is good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the 2nd. So he's been a busy man here in this 1st half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts going to take over now late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
first down. Wentz. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
3 yards remain for second down.
Wentz going to throw. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
And what with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always... loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the 36, Hurts.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
That's caught inside the
20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Jerry Judy.
As the first half is winding down, and the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And with that, the lead is up to 8. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We get started in the AFC. A couple of Midwestern teams doing battle. Kansas City and Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. Joe Mixon, a couple of touchdown runs. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. A touchdown pass there for Derek Carr. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey with a couple of touchdowns there. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. Final adjustments taking place in both teams' locker rooms. We're closing in on the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back up to Indianapolis and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final two quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there. A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Well, obviously they would have. At least like to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now on 2nd and 13.
Hurts. And this will be caught by Edwards.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tyquan Lewis makes a stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Hurts throw taken in by Edwards.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They go with Jacobs. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. On 1st down, it's Jacobs, and he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I know you feel that.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, touchdown number 15 of the year.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
The previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is the spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Touchdown, Indianapolis!
Jonathan Taylor,
his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch the short passes, he can run under a long pass, or he can do what we saw right there, catch one and then make a big gain after the catch.
And talk about a quick answer. This looked like a missed assignment. You'd think someone would be able to rein him in after he makes this catch, but he's so slippery in the open field, he's able to take it all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT.
And this one's back to an 8-point game. shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
On the return comes Drake.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for. For out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
Breaks a tackle.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 102 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Hurts going to keep it running right. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Touchdown!
That's caught.
Jerry Judy.
His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season.
And the Raiders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Carlson on for the PAT.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
Certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play, because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
2nd and 10.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw.
Got a man. It's Judy, complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On first down, Drake. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
The Raiders on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Running from the shotgun with Drake. Drake with a first down and more. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Colts 21. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it will come out to the 25. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's got some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Wentz now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So the first down screen pass, good for 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw taken in by Pascal. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, it's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Throwing on first is Wentz. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Corey Littleton just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's going to let it go again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Wentz going to look to throw. Dancing to, and now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that point, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
On the return comes Drake. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Hurts to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
Las Vegas.
Now Hurts on the option right. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Throwing is Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Edwards. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a big play, yet amazing.
Amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The fake punt gets them 10, and that changes things as they've got a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And the Las Vegas first down.
Nothing here.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
No game.
Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run it with Jacobs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Raiders are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indy set to go on offense once more. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Taken in by Pascal out left. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now Wentz. He'll check this down to Hines. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Let's go, baby.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, they run their record to 13-3 now on the year.